Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Friday, February 24th, and we have a very active day coming up, and we got a pretty active pattern for that matter. Here over the next week, we expect plenty of precipitation, but the big story for much of the MAC area will be the chance of severe thunderstorms today. The main batch of severe weather looks like it'll come out ahead of the cold front that'll move through between 3 and 10 o'clock tonight. And again, some storms earlier today, though, could also produce some severe weather, and we'll show you that in just a moment. And again, the headlines again looks like some thunderstorms today. We could see temperatures in the 30s and 40s once you get into mid-Michigan, all the way up into the 60s across southeast lower Michigan. Could end as a little bit of snow showers. It'll be a cooler weekend. And then next week we have another system, and now looks like it's going to be several pieces of energy, but we'll still watch for the potential for a stronger individual storm around Tuesday or Wednesday. And again, that could bring some mixed bag of precipitation. Then I think we turn much colder as we get towards next weekend into the following week, as we could see a very significant chunk of Arctic air move down this area around day 10 or so. If we look at the normals for the day, the normal high is 34, our normal low is 16. You can see on this date back in 1889, just a couple of years ago, we were down to 24 below zero, and 1 year ago we set the daily record precipitation amount here in Breckenridge at 96 hundredths of an inch. If we look at the coldest and warmest conditions around the lower 48 for Thursday, 101 degrees at McAllen, Texas, 6 above zero was the cold spot at Stanley, Idaho. If we look at conditions yesterday morning, you can see we were really warm into the 50s across much of the area. A cold front was just starting to come through. Newega was down to 47. Look at the conditions this morning, much colder with temperatures in the 30s, but this is still way above normal. We should be in the upper teens for this time of the year. And again, 32 degrees in the Breckenridge area, 33 at Middleton, so we have to watch for mixed precipitation. Woke up this morning with some ice on my windshield, and certainly from here on to the north, looks like there could be some potentially some slippery conditions. But I think as the warm air winds out, we'll see our temperatures rise through the day, at least I think into the 40s, but if we get enough of a push, we could get into the 50s. The warmer you get, the better chance of severe storms. And again, this area across southeast lower Michigan, from Breckenridge on to the south and east, looks like a slight risk of severe storms is possible. But the areas I'm really concerned about, Blissfield, Jasper, or towards Tupperville, St. Thomas, you could be under the gun with an enhanced chance of severe storms. Right now, the biggest threat would be damaging wind gusts, but also can't rule out a spin-up tornado across the area as well. If we look at the satellite view this morning, you can see some of the colder cloud tops as they moved into Michigan. We had some pretty good lightning and thunder here across the Breckenridge area. I'm sure many areas across southern lower Michigan. Look at this newly area of development across Illinois. That's the area that moves up here later on, and that could give us some pretty good storms yet this morning. And then when the cold front pushes through, we expect a pretty strong line of storms to move through the area. If we look at the radar this morning, this was around 6 o'clock, 32 degrees in Breckenridge. And again, some of this activity was in the form of sleet and freezing rain and maybe some snow once you get a little farther north. And again, some pretty decent snows, especially across northern Michigan and back into the UP, where winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings are in effect, especially once you get towards Marquette. If we look at the next shot, you can see the animated radar showing some of this activity in mid-Michigan trying to change over to a mixed bag of precipitation, and then some of these newly developed thunderstorms we're going to have to keep an eye on here later this morning as they move up into the area with this push of warmer air. Some of these could be on the strong to severe side, and again, we'll wait for more activity later on with the cold front. You can see here in Breckenridge with our LD350 lightning detection system, quite a bit of lightning detected across Montcalm County up into Isabella and Gratiot County as well. Again, this activity pretty significant this morning, and we expect more of that to develop later on this afternoon for sure. If we look at the next side on the weather map this morning, our low pressure system now up into northeastern Missouri, and again, it's going to head right for lower Michigan along this front. Heavy snow back to the north. Again, blizzard warnings in parts of Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, into Wisconsin, and winter storm warnings up into central portions and western portions of the UP. And you can see the area of expected severe thunderstorms. The spot that really could be very interesting would be eastern Indiana and Ohio into northern Kentucky. You're going to be under the gun for the good chance of some significant tornadoes as well, so do be careful if you're in that area. And by tomorrow morning, that low pressure system is across northeastern Lake Huron. Cold air sweeps in behind it, maybe a mix of a few snow showers. Again, no big deal. And then we're going to look at a little clipper system that'll drop down, bring a chance of some occasional light snow, maybe later on in the day on Sunday. But again, no big deal. It's expected. And then we're going to watch energy in the southwestern plains. Again, it's a question whether it comes out in pieces or one significant system, and that'll head this way for especially the I think the late Monday, but more likely Tuesday, Wednesday time period of next week. As for precipitation over the next 7 days, you can see a lot of precipitation, 2 to 2.5 inches across much of central Michigan or towards Saginaw Bay into Lake Huron, and then still an inch or better across much of the entire state of Michigan. So a rather significantly wet pattern coming up here over the next 7 days. And as far as snowfall, you can see the bulk of the snow off into Wisconsin, into the UP, where much of the UP could see 6 to 10 inches, anywhere from 8 to 14 inches as you get around or just south of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So again, a very significant snowstorm and blizzard for that area, and they'll get more snow as they get into next week as well. If we look at the snow cover for the winter so far, you can see we've had virtually no snow cover now for about 13, 14 days. But again, the temperatures have been quite warm, so not really any kind of effect on the winter wheat. If we look at the around 17 days without any snow cover. If we look at the severe weather outlook again for today, you can see this area of enhanced chances of severe weather. So southeast lower Michigan, certainly keep an eye to the sky and keep tuned to your NOAA weather radio this morning. And either a slight or enhanced chance of severe storms covers many of the MAC and LAC locations: Clarksville, Middleton, Breckenridge, Lansing, Henderson, Marlette, Brown City, Blissfield, Jasper, Tupperville, St. Thomas, and London, all under the gun for at least a chance of some severe storms for today. And now on to Weather Watch. You can see winter weather advisories across northwest lower Michigan, eastern UP, and then surrounding that winter storm warning areas and blizzard warnings off into portions of southeast Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, much of southwest Wisconsin, south central Wisconsin, and then those winter storm warnings continue right up into lower Michigan. So a pretty significant storm, and again, we could be looking at pretty good thunderstorms for much of the MAC area today, so certainly keep an eye to the sky. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.